Hello, hello, and welcome everyone. First of all, I want to ask you about the image and about the sound. Is everything okay? No one is there. Yeah, some people start to enter. So I'm improving the image and the sound. Everyone could confirm me. Hola Julien. Buenas tardes. Everything is okay. Thank you, Julian. So I could start with the live streaming, and I'll start to present the streaming in order to wait for the people to join the party. So as is usual in this situation of isolation, as every Monday, Wednesday and Friday from Big Child we are making painting live streaming, and we want to share with you these moments of relax and painting with you in order to make the situation a little bit less bored, let's say, the situation. So for us it's a pleasure to be with you and well, explain some tips or answer your questions about painting miniatures or projects or whatever you want. Hello Daniel. Hola, buenas tardes. Nada, estamos empezando, o sea que llegáis a tiempo. And I must say that don't worry if you don't have the time to attend to this live streaming, because later we will upload the video to YouTube, and in the YouTube channel of Beatside Creative you could see the video as well, so you could enjoy the video as well in this way. But we want to create some material for the YouTube channel, and we'd like to make more things like this. Whoa, we have problems to reproduce this video. Anyone could confirm me that the image is okay? Because I can't see anything in my screen. Hola, buenas. ¿Alguien de los que ya estáis conectados podría confirmarme que se ve bien y se oye? Me acaba de aparecer en mi pantalla un mensaje de error y no estoy seguro de si se está reproduciendo bien la emisión. ¿Sí? Perfecto. Pues yo a mí no me veo, pero bueno, creo que vuestros comentarios sí que los puedo leer perfectamente y creo que con eso nos basta. Vale, perfecto, Daniel. Pues entonces sigo con ello. Hi, Davide. How are you? Nice to see you. So, okay, as I talked before, so we hope that you enjoyed the video, and in a couple of days, maybe for the ones that couldn't attend to this meeting today, you could see the video as well in the YouTube channel from Beatside Creatives. And in order to create more content for the YouTube channel and make more things in order for you, We like to ask for your support, and please make the follow and like the page. Let's say these kind of things, I'll start to retake the painting process from this miniature. Probably you'll know the miniature as well, because I was painting the first steps the last day. But if you don't know, as a quick comment, this is a miniature from our friends from Massive Dragons. They launched a Kickstarter about fantasy football, and this is one of the characters of the Goblin team. This is the troll that is based on one of our characters from Black Sailors. He's Scully, is well known between the followers of Black Sailors. So in the first session, let's say, I did a quick sketch of almost of the miniature. Okay, I'm seeing that some parts are still unpainted, and you could see the priming in these areas, like the little goblin and the armor. So in order to retake the process, I'll make a quick base coat over this part, and it's important to paint as well the base. I'm having problems with my own image, so this is a little tricky for me, but I'm seeing your comments. Okay, so if you have some questions, please ask me whatever you want, and I'll try to answer, because in the last live streaming of the last Monday, I had a little delay between the comments and the explanation. So in order to answer all of your questions, I'm seeing your questions here, and probably I could answer with a little delay. Okay. So, as I said, let me one moment in order to make. Okay, perfect. Perfect. So, as I saying, I'm going to paint with green. Okay, the base. Maybe I will mix a little bit of magenta with the green. So as I said in the last session, okay, I'm adding this color to all of the mixes of the miniature in order to create some ambience. Okay, so this is my common color to all my mixes. So in order to paint this green, I will mix some magenta and some green, and this will give me a turquoise or something like that color. Maybe too much blue. And I'll make a quick base coat over the base and the little goblin. Okay? Hello, Audrey. Yeah, I'm good. I hope that all of you are good as well. So after all of these days of isolation, we maybe have our heads a little bit collapsed, I think. But we still could paint at home and make things that we love. And this is why we want to share with you these days of painting. And as well, we love to see your painted miniatures as well. So don't be shy and share with us your progress on your miniatures. I want to remember for the ones that are ¿Qué tal, Carol? For the ones that probably didn't know, in Vital Creatives we are running right now a painting contest of miniatures. So this is something just for fun, okay? There are prizes, okay? But we want to keep you painting in these days. So take a look in our Facebook or Instagram pages and you will see the basis of the contest. And probably you will be happy to participate in the contest. Okay? And I think every part of the miniature is now with some color, okay? So this is... Oh, gracias, Carol. Es que tengo la cabeza muy grande, todo hay que decirlo. Vale, intentaré no echarme mucho para adelante. So, now I have everything with a color. So I'll continue with the work on the skin of the miniature. Okay, so for adding definition, more light to the skin, I'll start with the pink parts and later I will make the same. Vale, cuando me agacho. Puede ser un poco complicado la situación. A ver, vale, ya entiendo lo que decís. Vale. Espero, si he hecho esto un poco, voy a mover un poco todo el tinglado, a ver si puedo reconfigurarlo un poco mejor. Vale, y ahora yo creo que tardaré un poco más en asomar la cabeza. Vale, perfecto. Espero haberlo arreglado un poquillo. La situación. No. Sorry for the inconveniences. This is the problem of the live streaming. I'll try not to obscure the image with my head when I'm painting. I think now could be better setting for all of us. Okay. Now I could paint. Okay. So as I'm saying before, now I could start to make some definition on the skin in order to continue with the process of the last day. Okay, so perfecto, ¿no, Carol? Vale, muchas gracias. ¿Qué tal, Neti? Buenas tardes. Sí, la verdad es que hoy tengo los pelos ahí encrespados. Okay, so I'll start adding more lights and definition onto the previous light sketch on the skin. First, I go through the pinkiest part and later through the belly, okay? So for the pinkiest part, I'll make a version of the light used in the previous day. So if you don't saw the video, I could recommend you to take a look to the YouTube channel of Big Child Gratis, because this video is uploaded there, and you'll see how I reach to that point. Okay, so I'll add for the lights magenta. Okay, it's the color that is present in all the mixes. Okay, a little bit, and this color. This is not white, but this is a color near to the white. I don't like to use white in my painting because I don't need it. I'm using this color that is almost white. Okay. And for these steps, in the previous steps, I'm making low dilutions, okay, in my mixes. But in these steps, I'm trying to make smooth brushstrokes, okay? So in order to paint over the airbrush surface, I need to water down my mixes in order to have more smooth brushstrokes, okay? So this is important because the dilution of the paint is different in every steps, let's say. Un ilustre está con nosotros. Bienvenido, Marmas Clans. Qué buena forma de pasar la tarde. Aquí con tanta gente buena, ¿eh? Hay que ver. Pues, a ver, estaba comentando un poco en Spanglish que en el día anterior hice un sketch un poco para empezar un poco con las volumetrías de la piel. Entonces, luego lo limpié un poco con el aerógrafo y ahora, al haber perdido luces en estas partes, me toca un poco volver a rehacer las luces. Entonces, me he hecho una mezcla de luces de nuevo, que es con magenta y un color muy clarito, no es blanco, pero es muy cercano al blanco, y de nuevo empiezo a redefinir estas partes de la piel. Entonces estoy haciendo como otro paso adicional, ¿vale? Es un poco el proceso, es hacer un poco el sketch, luego limpiarlo y luego volver a hacer el sketch, luego limpiarlo y así hasta que estemos contentos. La dilución de la pintura en estos pasos es más alta porque quiero que mis pinceladas tengan unas transiciones más suaves que al principio, que solo quería que la pintura cubriese bien. ¿Ok? I'll try to explain the process in dual language, in Spanish and English. But if you have some doubts, just drop me a line. I'll answer to you as soon as I saw the comment. Okay? In this part, I'm making a little bit of texture as I did in the previous steps, but I'm not redoing the work. I'm refining the work, okay? So each step that you make this process of sketching and smoothing, you are near from the final result. It's not a remake of the work. After this step, I will clean again these transitions. Okay. Hola viento, buenas tardes. And I'll try to smooth and define these volumes sketched before. But in this step, I will work on less surface than before. I need to work onto some parts, not the whole surface as the previous step. Okay, so each time that you did this, you'll need to work less and spend less time. Okay. I'm not going to work onto this part of the head too much because this is on the same color like the belly, so this is not pink. And I'm defining the texture of the head of the skin. And now is very important to make some work over the scales, okay? So for the scales, I'll mark some of them, but not every scale, okay? In order to create some illusion like a non-metallic metal, I could say. The scales is the most laborious part because you need to paint one by one in order to achieve a good result over these parts. Okay, so as you could see, I'm painting one of them, but not all the scales with this light color in this way. Okay. I'm working with the paint a little bit diluted, so probably in one brushstroke you don't cover the surface completely, so later you could make another coat of the same color in order to make this color more evident, and you will see more light in your miniature. Okay, and the fingers, of course, you will make this texture again. I love to create texture in the knuckles. Here, for example, making dot and thin lines like those ones, okay? Okay, so as you could see, I spend less time than in the previous step that I did the other day. So this is natural in this process. I will add to this light a little bit more white in order to create another layer of lights, okay? And the same process, but with a lighter color. Probably this is my final light color. Okay, so same dilution, lighter color, and I apply this color in less surface. I'll expand the light. I'll contract the light. Okay, better said. And of course I will make the same in the scales, making some of them white, some of them more darker. I don't apply any light in these scales. For example, in this one I only apply a little bit of light here, and I'll remark the edge of the scale, okay, like this one as well. And this is the way in which I define the scales. Okay, I know this is a little bit slower than other things in the miniature painting, but if you want to achieve a good result, you need to define the elements of the miniature. Okay, you start to see the definition. Hello, Christophe. Hello, Paolo. You are on time. I'm just making more definition over the previous step of the other way. So, Christophe, you don't need that I talk about definition, I think. But it's nice that you are there. Okay, I'm making more light in the leg. Okay, you see the difference between this light and this other that is not worked. Okay, I'll add a little bit here and here, not too much. Okay, because this leg is in a shadow part of the miniature, so you don't need to make a lot of light here. But a little bit of definition in these scales will be nice. Remember, you need to define the miniature in order to make the work for the eye of the viewer. This is not a problem. It's an issue that comes from the scale of the miniatures. Okay, so because the miniatures are so tiny, you need to make the definition in HD for the eye of the viewer in order to recognize the different parts of the miniature. So you need to define more than anything in the artistic world. Okay, when you paint a canvas, you don't need to define as much as a miniature. But when you're painting miniatures, you need to define the parts way more. I'm adding some contrast in the face. This is the main part that I want to focus the attention of the viewer, so I will create here more dramatic contrast. Okay? See the difference? Yeah, Christophe, is everything about definition. This is the trick for the miniature painting. especially in these scales, in 28, 32 millimeters scales are more necessary the definition, but in other scales you need to make definition as well. Okay. Okay. A big point of light in the nose, of course, and in the cheek. I'm worried about the image, the quality and the sound. Is everything okay? I know that I'm painting small parts and this could be tricky in order to see what's going on. Sorry, because our setting is so limited in these days. But we like to improve our setting and make more materials for you in our YouTube channel. So if you don't visit it yet, take a look and let us know what do you think about the stuff that you could see there. We are uploading the live streamings and some other tutorial stuff there in order that you could spend your isolation in a more enjoyable way. Okay, you see that I'm adding a lot of light here. I probably add a little bit more, but I'm always adding more light that I need, because when I make the smoothing with the eyebrows, I will lose some light. So this is why I'm adding more light than needed. For the scales, the same trick as here. Some of them light, others not. So this will create the illusion of reflecting material. Reflective, sorry. I hope that my English is understandable for you. ¿Ok? Muy bien, Marc. Me alegro de que te hayas pasado un ratito. I'm now defining the edges of these scales. Some of them, only the edge. There are a lot of scales, so be patient with this step, okay? But once you done this step, probably you don't need to make it the same process of the definition over all of the scales another times. Probably next step you only need to define some of them again, but some of them. To define these edges is recommended. Thank you, Stefan. You are so positive for me. Hola Leo, ¿qué tal? As I'm talking before, for define these edges, you simply need to put the brush in this direction of the edge, okay? And in this way, you paint only in the edge of the things. This is the technique that we use for the fine edges, like those ones, okay? With the tip, I put the tip of the brush only in the edge. And this is how you could define these little scales. Okay, I'm trying to make as fast as I can in order to not spend the whole video making the definition. This is the bad part about definition, because it's so time consuming for you. But spend time making these kind of things. Your miniature will love you. You do these kind of things with them. Okay. See how the light is enhanced? Okay, I know that I left the fingers of the hand, so this could be done in a quick way, like this. Okay. And the problem about highlighting, especially small parts like these ones, is that you need to hold your breath and it's difficult to talk what I'm doing this kind of thing. So you want to say something in the in-between? Okay, those fingers needs to be painted, and a little bit of light here, but not too much. These parts are in the shadow planes of the miniature, so you don't need too much light here as in the face, for example. With this difference in the light, you are making that the viewer is focusing his attention in the face of the miniature, not in the feet. That is not needed. Ah, okay, Stefan, you hear the dog? Really? Es increíble. Increíble. And yes, this is my old days is the same. That dog, I don't know if he's unfit or something like that, but he's all day making the same. So it's crazy for the dog and for the for the neighborhood. Okay, so I'll start. Okay, I'll do a little bit. I'll reinforce some points of light in the face, especially like the one on the nose. Okay, like this. In the eyebrows, for example. in the cheekbone. And in the wrinkles of the nose as well. Sorry if the position is sometimes weird, because as an advice, when you are painting, try to find the most comfortable pose for you to reach to certain areas. And don't be afraid to touch the miniature in the way that I am doing, because this will give you more precision. This will give you a lot of precision indeed. Okay, so if I put my finger, I will be establishing my handling, and if I took the brush near to the bristles, okay, I'm achieving a lot of precision in my painting. So this is a trick for paint little details like those ones. Okay, if you hold the brush in this way, you'll obtain a lot of precision. Okay, try to paint in this way. It's very difficult to have precision. Okay, so the nearer you grab the brush from the bristles, more precision. Try it. Hello Lucas, how are you? Nice to see you. There's a lot of good people so in the streaming. I'm so happy that all of you are there. So thanks for watching and for making this time, this hour more enjoyable for me. Okay. To the light place when with the brush. No, Leo, I'm not adding additional tones in the light planes. Okay, I could do it later with dry brush, for example, or I could do it with the brush. But at this point I don't need to add more additional tones. Maybe you mean the blue ones, okay? But probably in this version I make a normal illumination in this side, and in the opposite side I could make some bluish tone in the light. So this is up to you. Is something is artistic license that you could take. Okay, so I'm adding, as a reminder, the last touch of light, the points of light, and these are almost points, little points on little areas like this one. Okay? I know that I'm not doing nothing new, but I'd like to show you how continue with the working process that I love to do. That is some sketching, some smoothing, and later sketch again in this way, in a more controlled way. And later I will do again another layer of smoothing in order to give to the gradients a more natural feeling, not so rough. But this is the way that I'm defining all of these parts. defining and making texture. Okay, so the pink parts for me are done. So in order to advance with the belly that is way smaller, okay, yeah. You're right, Christoph. Sometimes I forgot to take a breath while I'm highlighting. Someday I lose my breath. I'll use for the belly an ochre tone in like this one, for example. Okay, this is maybe too yellowish. Okay, I'll show you the wet palette. This is so yellowish, but I have here white. It's not white, but it's very near from the white. And I think a little bit of magenta could be okay, but only a little bit. I don't want to add too much magenta in order to get a pinkish color, and in this case the tones will be very similar because the pink is hue. Okay, so I want to separate this part. I think a color like this one, this is a yellowish, a pale yellowish tone, okay, will be cool for this part. Okay, let's make a try. And as I did in the pinkish part, I make some redefinition of the lights. But taking account that in these steps my dilution are higher than in the previous steps, so I'll try to make more smooth brush strokes. Okay, okay, and this is the way that I'm building the lights again on the belly. I'm agree, Christoph. The painter jobs is very dangerous. Okay, and I will make some definition overall in this part that I have lost in the previous step. Sorry if I'm out of the camera, sorry. I have lost this part in the previous step, so now it's time to define it again. Okay, so what are you doing in these days? You are okay with the situation? You are getting used to this isolation? Maybe in your country is the situation okay? You are near from start again? Okay, I will add more light in this part of the belly. This is the more exposed part to the light of the belly, and in these brush strokes you'll see that I need to make several layers in order to get a strong light. Okay, this is why the dilution, because the dilution is high and you'll need some coats in order to achieve a good coverage of the color. Okay, but this is more smooth for your gradient, so this is not slower than you think. I'm almost ready to smooth again and leave this part almost finished. For the belly, this big part, I will add a little bit of white in order to achieve more light here. Okay, in this way. I'll make one coat and let it dry, and here maybe a little bit point of light, some definition in the lip. Okay, and I return to this part in order to enhance the point of light. Here as well the same. Ok. Sí, es verdad, Irra. Son como, no sé, vacaciones raritas, sí. Puedes quedar con la gente, pero así, en el Skype y esas cosas, que no es lo mismo, desde luego. Ok. You see how I'm building the lights, okay? So, okay, you in your home could spend a little bit more time, but now the next step, as I did in the previous live streaming, is as you could might use some airbrushes in order to make some smoothing over these gradients. Okay, so first I will add a little bit of diluent. I use this one from Tamilla. Okay, it's not needed, but as I told before, and a little bit of water. Okay, this is water, regular water. As I said in the previous live streaming, the diluent helps to the paint flow better, and the airbrush will be not obstructed with your painting. Okay, and as well helps to dry faster the paint in the airbrush. Sorry. So to clean the magenta parts, I will use of course, magenta. This is something logic, okay? I took the paint and inside. That's all. Okay? You need high dilution on your eyebrows, okay? Something like that. It's not covering very much, okay? So this is the right dilution to make the smoothing of the gradient. And I'll be aware to not paint too much in the light, because I will lose all the light that I painted. Okay, so this is a matter to paint in the middle tones and in the shadows. Or if you put the miniature in this way, is about to painting in these areas that you see when you towards downwards the miniature. Okay, in this way. And try to not overpaint the areas in order to lose all the previous work. But this is so difficult because the paint is so watered down inside the eyebrows, okay? So at the end you are making the gradients smoother. And for the face, sorry, the fingers a little bit. Here. I know that probably these steps that I'm doing are the same than the other way, but there are subtle differences. So I like to show you this kind of steps, because from here the process is over and over the same. Hombre, Miguelón, ¿qué tal? Y Miguel, Ángel de la Rosa. Eso es lo que más me cuesta hacer. Es verdad que para tener un manejo del aerógrafo suficiente para hacer esto con confianza, la única forma que tienes de conseguirlo es manejando el aerógrafo. Luego hay otras cosas que también ayudan, ¿ok? Que también es un aerógrafo que no sea de una boquilla de un 0,5 o de un 0,4. Este en concreto es un aerógrafo, digamos, bueno. Es un Iwata, un HPBH y es del 0,2. Entonces, esta boquilla, al ser tan pequeña, me permite apuntar muy bien en los puntos donde realmente quiero pintar. O sea, no estoy enmascarando nada. Si quiero pintar en la pierna, muy mal se me tiene que dar para pintar en la tripa. Pero bueno, eso es una cuestión al final de práctica y de ir poquito a poco, ¿eh? No penséis que con el aerógrafo pues se pinta todo solo y que esto en 5 minutos, es verdad que es muy rápido, pero primero tienes que... Vamos, yo si os dijera la cantidad de minis que he estropeado con el aerógrafo primero antes de luego ya dominarle un poco, bueno, de minis y podríamos decir que hasta algún aerógrafo casi que la he liado un poco, pero bueno. Que no os dé miedo practicar las cositas estas. Si os queda mal una mini, seguro que tenéis otras 40 ahí en un cajón esperando a ser pintadas. Así que, mira. Yeah, Christoph. I don't know what I what I said. I'm making a little bit of smoothing in the face. This is the part where you need to aim better with the eyebrows. Okay, I'm talking in Spanish, answering to a friend that this helps a lot. That the size of the needle of the eyebrows will be this one is from Iwata, is in HPBH, and is a 0.2 millimeters size, the needle. So this is so teeny, and this allows me to paint or specifically where I want, So this is something easy to do with these eyebrows. Probably if you have a 0.4 needle, will be harder for you. But it's a matter of practice. You don't be afraid to practice with some miniatures, these kind of things, and probably in the first attempt, don't be very nice the results, but with the time you could do it for sure. And the benefits of this is that you spend less time painting your miniatures, so you could paint more miniatures. Okay, so I'm trying to not lose all the light of the miniature. I think that it's not focusing the miniature in this distance, at this distance. It's a pity. Let me try something like that. It's difficult for the camera. You get the idea, okay? So I'm painting in the middle tones and the shadows, but not in the light, okay? And I keep some of the lights that I did earlier. So this is basically how the method works. And from now, you could restart again the process until you get the point that you want. That's all. Okay, I must almost forget to make the smoothing of the belly, but as you might, this is pretty the same. One detail, I'm painting on one area, but I'm not painting every time. I'm painting and drying with only air. If you push the trigger in this way, okay, you will eyebrush only air, not paint. And this is the way that you dry faster your coats with the eyebrush. So I paint a little bit and then I dry. Why? Because if you insist too much in one part, you'll see what happens. You'll see that some spider webs are creating in the surface. So to avoid these kind of issues, okay, I'm airbrushing a little bit and drying with only air, okay? This is the way that you could avoid these spider webs. So I paint a little bit and dry. That's all. is something tricky in the beginning, but at, after a couple of tries, you will get used to this kind of technique with the airbrush. I'm thinking to make um, some videos about the airbrushing techniques because to a lot of people it's hard to manage with the airbrush, okay? And you know some tips, a couple of them is way easy. So um, yeah, Leo, it is the focal distance for sure. But I think you get the idea of the process. Sorry for the image. Uh, we are trying to improve our setting in order to give you more better videos for you because we are having some positives supporting from you and we love to make this stuff this kind of stuff more better for you. Okay, so I'll change the color for the belly. Okay, let me check. We use blue light. We use saturated blue light. No creo, Miguel. I don't think that I don't use the saturated blue light as I did in the 70 millimeters version in the same way. Okay, this is an artistic license that I took, and in this way I could make this blue lining from this side. Okay, but I think for this version could be nice that the bluish light comes from this side. So in this part I will focus the natural light, let's say that, and in this part I could make some colder lining. Okay, so probably I don't want to make in this side as well because in this live streaming series I don't have too much time and I want to advance the miniature as much as I can. So I'll keep the thing simple, but maybe in the last day we could make some crazy tries. Okay, so for the belly I will use as well some of the magenta, of course. Sorry, I'm of the camera again. And in order to desaturate the magenta, I will use some green in order to make some desaturation on it. Okay. And I need some kind of yellowish tone, for example this one, in order to achieve this ochre which is predominant in the color of the belly. Okay, so I will add a little bit of ochre. So as you could see, it's formed some kind of brown mix, okay, which is perfect for the color of the belly. Okay, so the process is pretty the same. Probably I could make it more yellowish. This is something that you could do as well with the airbrush. If you saw that you need some color more saturated, more desaturated, more with other hue, okay, you could add and rectificate in the middle of the process. So this is a yellowish stone that I think is nice for this skin tone. Not too much, in order to not lose all the light of the belly. Because remember, smothering makes your light darker. And in the part beneath the face, I'll make some smothering as well. Okay, so I'm near to the point that I like this skin for this miniature. So I think now it's time to redefine the lights a little bit more, like we started this live streaming today. But probably those lights will no need any smoothing with the eyebrows. So this will be, sorry, like the blue. Okay, Stefan, this the secondary light is always a light that needs to be different from the main light. So if the main light is in a warmer tones, like for example this one, because the magenta is a warm tone, okay, it has a little bit of yellow, so it's not very warm, but at the end it's a warm tone, okay, this light. The secondary light that you like to use could be nice if you use the opposite in terms of color temperature. So if your main light is warm, use whichever color are cold for the miniature. And this is why I decided to use this cyan tone hue or bluish tone, okay? Because the the temperature contrast, okay? You could use instead, for example, blue as well, okay? Blue, green, they are cold colors, okay? Or turquoise is a nice color as well, for sure. Probably will match. Okay, so I think it's a pity, my friends, but for today it was a nice step onto this miniature. I think next day we could move on to other parts, like the armor parts, the leather parts, or something like that. Or we could refine the face, the eyes, the teeth, and something like that. So if you want to see something specific for this miniature and for this painting live streaming, just let me know in order to make something special and interesting for you. And don't forget that we are making this live streaming every day. No, not every day. Monday, Wednesday with David Arroba, and Friday with Jaime de Garnica. All of us are making this live streaming in order to enjoy a little bit with you the harmful isolation that we are living. But we trust that with these painting moments with you, you could enjoy a little bit these moments, and maybe could encourage you to try these techniques onto your miniature. So we love to see your advances, and if you want to ask whatever you want to ask, be free and drop us a line. And don't worry if you are late. So as I told in the beginning of the video, we'll love this content to Big Child's YouTube channel, and you could see this material and many more there. So if you like this kind of materials that we are making for you, please subscribe and like the video, and we hope to see you again on Wednesday with David Arroba. So thank you very much to be there, and was a nice evening with all of you. Bye bye.